Welcome back to Nick Landis Comic Corner Classic Non Classics. Excuse me, this episode number 2516, Doubleshot 2410. We have two sci-fi trades from Marvel Comics. First up, as part of the celebration for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, we have Star Wars, Scoundrels, Rebels, and the Empire. Yes, a series of one-shots that dealt with characters that are loosely associated with Return of the Jedi. Yeah, and I say loosely. So here's basically what we have here. We have Jabba's Palace, Ewoks, Lando, the Empire, the Rebellion, and Max Robo. Yes, those are your one-shots. Who does these books? Jabba's Palace are by Mark Guggenheim, Alyssa Virgilio. Ewoks is done by the writer of the Dr. Aphra book and most recent writer for Deadpool, Alyssa Wong. Artwork by Lee Gerbert and Java Torgigi. Lando is done by Sid Phillips, the previous writer for Harley Quinn, with Alvo Lopez. A woman who actually has done several Star Wars books, Jodie Hauser, doing the Empire one-shot with Jonathan Morris. And the only writer of this whole book, one of two writers I've actually met. Yes, I have met Stephanie Phillips. The other two I have not met yet. The villain, Alex Guerrero, with artwork by Matt Hurdock, Brett Phillips, and Raphael Sebeti. Max Robo, Daniel Jose Older, and Paul Furry. Mostly put, these are just stories that are related to mostly put in the case of the Jabba's Palace one. It's kind of in a way set during the movie, per se. Probably just after C-2 was dropped off here. And it's all perspective of basically, one of Jabba's subordinates. Yep. It's just him following around the events of the movie. You could say it's a series of stuff happening here, but we most of all there's one robot who's here. And he's here this whole entire one shot. Yep. He just witnesses basically stuff related to Jabba. It's a interesting one shot for what it is, but it's not that noteworthy. Oh yeah, the thing ends with basically it's like this one is set during it's like him witnessing some of the events of Return of the Jedi, kind of. But oh yeah, and the Scarlet Pit has got this little mouth thing. Now, let me point out something about this Scarlet Nest scene. Now, this thing that eats him, that was actually in addition from the special edition version of the movie. The special edition movies of the original trilogy have gotten a lot of flack over the years due to a lot of unnecessary additions. Now, from what I've heard, the original movie got a lot of changes with that. They got a lot of flack over the years. But Return of the Jedi Empire Strikes Back, I didn't hear any complaints about those per se. It's just weird they included this. Now, one change I did hear was positive received for special edition movies in the Blu-ray edition Empire Strikes Back. They replaced the original Emperor in the movie because originally it was actually a woman wearing a prosthetic, and that was the Emperor. And they replaced it with Ian McDiarmid, who plays in that very next movie. And I gotta say, it's actually a smart move. And there's also added this scene of like Jabba the Hutt, which actually was not there in the original movie release. They added that in, except they put Jabba in his very, very okay CGI look. There's this there's like this one moment in the movie, George Lucas points out though, where Han goes behind him. So let's have Han step on Jabba's tail. Yes. This actually was one of the very few additions they made to Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi didn't receive much complaints. I heard very little about the complaints about the changes done in Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back. It's mostly to the original movie. The movie that people love so much. I love the original movie. But there were some changes necessary. Yes. Like, if you watch the original theatrical cut, there's this orange line underneath the Luke's hover car in the movie, which they removed that, which that was fine. Except they added a lot of CGI to it, it's very unnecessary stuff, fine. But this little snout thing, this was an addition from the special edition cut of the movie. It was never in the original movie at all, and then this one shot ends with the robot being tortured. Yeah, and then we have an Ewoks issue, which, by the way, this is on Melissa one. It's a okay issue. It starts because of artwork, and then we have this cutesy artwork. It's an okay one-shot. Does Polish I thought was quite interesting. This one-shot Ewoks is okay. Nothing terrible. I don't want to criticize basically the writer for it. Lando one is pure awesomeness at its finest because it's Lando Calrissian. And it seems as though the artist who did this book, I think maybe the same artist who did the previous Lando mini-series that was tied into Solo. I think it was that same artist because it looks like the same artist. It's most of what Chewie and Lando up to before the events of Return of the Jedi. Where they're playing a game of soccer against this beautiful alien. And the Empire. Really fun little one-shot. Then we have the Empire one thinking, who the heck is this character? A guy by the name of Rilo Goth of Goth Industries. This particular one-shot is set during, just for the Endor part of it before the rebellion showed up. Also, all the time his perspective where he's like so bored. Where he basically is like, he's like not fitting in very well. He tries to fit in. Yeah, and they have this woman who beats up a guy for criticizing her marriage and her. He just goes by his business, and then apparently he's goes outside, or he's attacked by one of the Ewoks in the movie. Yeah. And then there's something really weird. It's like he's just doing his work best he can. He's not doing anything terrible per se, and then he gets questioned by Imperial security for being possibly a possible rebel spy, and then he's thrown in jail. What? Yeah, really. They expect the rebel spies to throw him in jail. Reading this, there's nothing that says he basically was hosted the rebellion at all. Like, there is nothing. All he wanted to do is finish up his service and go home, but he's not allowed to because apparently he was incompetent. I'm like, you read this one shot. He doesn't seem competent. He's doing his job fine. Yeah, it seems like he's just doing his job. He's just some normal guy. Then we have the rebellion one. And that was the Empire one-shot. Now, yes, now in case you're curious though, did Jodie Howser write the Empire one-shot? Yes, she did. I have nothing against Jodie Howser's writing. It just the one-shot seemed okay, per se. Maybe one of her weaker offerings, but I still love her work nonetheless. This rebellion was focused on Akbar. Yes, a character from the movies. It's all his preparation. It's like a lot of these one-shots are just preparation for the events of before I go to Endor, and we also see Poe Dameron's parents in this one shot. Yes. Fun fact: they first appeared in the Shattered Empire miniseries by Greg Rucka, and then later on they became sort of because that book is set just right where the movie left off for Return of the Jedi. Then they featured the main Star Wars book. Which appearances there are set before that. And I do love the fact that the writer of this one shot, who wrote this one? This was Alex Arafij. This was actually was really good. Nothing bad here per se. And then of course basically like it's kind of like the recruitment. You could say this is a recruitment to the part of Brilliant. And then we have one called the Max Robo. It's mostly focused on the band from the movie. It's basically a lot of it from the way this one shot is written. It's basically them. It's basically Max Robo witnessing the events of Return of the Jedi. Does it happen to per se? He wins the fight, and he supposedly survives, mostly. Though he does apparently witness Leia strangling Jabba the Hutt. And he somehow escapes and ends up on a planet with a beautiful alien woman. And that's the one shot in a nutshell. These one shots in particular, I'd say the Rebellion one is really good. Jabba's Palace is interesting. I like the Lando one. I'd say the weakest ones in here is probably Empire and Max Robo. I'm gonna give this book here a 9 out of 10. It's good, but it's a bit weak offering for this one. Nothing terrible with this one, per se. I do like the fact they celebrate 40 years for Return of the Jedi. And yet the comics are not basically pushing forward. Because what they did for Empire Strikes Back, they pushed forward right after Empire Strikes Back. Currently, they're not doing that. I'm not sure why. Maybe because I want to push more comics. Next up we have is Groot, called Uprooted. This collects the 4-issue second volume for Groot. Written by Dan Abnett, a guy who wrote Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. Was it one? Now here's the thing about Groot. This actually, from what I can tell, is the one from Guardians. I mistakenly thought for the longest time that the one from Guardians is the same one that Stanley Jack Kirby created back in the 60s. Not really. That is a completely separate character, and that character was like retconned to be the king of the Groots. And most of the point, it just Groot teaming up with acting Captain Marvel. Yeah, this is Marvel before it became Captain Marvel on Earth. It's mostly about their journey of finding Groot's home planet. That's most of what this miniseries is. Really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's interesting we have the baby Groot here, because of course it's young Groot, obviously. This book is just really good. And of course also, does he speak with the I Am Groot stuff in here? Yes, he does. Dan Abnett does a great job with this book. I give this book roughly a 10 out of 10, because I thought the series was really fun. Yep, so yeah, that's a particular view. Next up is going to be more about Kendra. Okay, next video.